You won't believe what happened when I finally went back to my family's old cabin by Crystal Bay. It had been 10 months since my grandfather, Henry, passed away, and I'd been avoiding the place for the last 7 of them, burying myself in work as a freelance fraud examiner. That cabin wasn't just wood and nails to might, was where Gramps taught me to cast a line into the misty waters at dawn, where he'd lean back in his creaky rocker and spin tales about outsmarting life's bullies with brains over brawn. "Ethan," he'd say, his voice gravelly from years of pipe smoke, "real fights aren't won with fists. They're won with facts and grit." I never imagined I'd live those words so raw. It was early November when I drove up those winding roads, the leaves a blaze of red and gold mirroring off the bay's surface. I pictured a quiet week, dusting off memories, patching the roof Henry always meant to fix, toasting his ghost with a cold beer on the dock. But as I neared the driveway, thumping bass and laughter hit me like a slap. Cars, fancy ones, littered the grass, folks in swimsuits splashing around my pier like it was a resort. And there, flipping burgers on Henry's prized antique grill, stood this silver-haired woman in a flashy swimsuit, wine glass in hand, acting like queen of the castle. "Excuse me," I said, keeping my cool as I approached, clutching my deed papers. "This is my property. What's all this?" She turned, eyes narrowing like I'd crashed her party. "Vivian Caldwell," I learned later, HOA boss for Willow Creek, the neighborhood hugging the bay. "Oh, darling," she cooed, dripping sarcasm, "you've got it wrong. This waterfront's community turf now. We've kept it up since the old owner ditched it." Her smirk twisted the knife. She dangled my spare key like a trophy, admitting she'd cracked the lock months ago. When I demanded she leave, she just laughed. "Go ahead, call the cops if you're so sure." She beat me to it, dialing with a theatrical gasp. "There's a hostile intruder claiming our shared space." Minutes later, sirens wailed. Sergeant Ramirez rolled up, a burly guy with a skeptical squint. Vivian switched gears faster than a con artist, suddenly all fragile concern, batting lashes as she flashed a photo with Captain Ellis, the local chief. "We golf together," she purred. "He's big on community safety." She whipped out a slick HOA waterfront oversight document, forged but official looking. My real deeds? Brushed aside. "Sir, there's confusion here," Ramirez said. "To avoid trouble, leave for 72 hours while we verify." Stunned, I drove to the Maple Grove Lodge, a dingy spot with flickering neon and stale coffee. Staring at Henry's faded photo, rage boiled into resolve. The next day, scouting the neighborhood bulletin board, I spotted petty fines galore: $75 for unauthorized bird feeder height, $300 for excessive porch light wattage. Then emails flooded in 20 violations in a week, $9,200 total, some dated while I was banned. Patterns screamed fraud. Rules not in the bylaws, all signed by Vivian alone, amounts just annoying enough to pay without a fight. Cruising the area, I met Beatrice Fowler at the mailbox, an elderly widow with a wary gaze, now in a modest RV lot after losing her Bayview home. "Vivian did this to me," she whispered. Fine snowballed, wrong fence color, non-compliant shrubs, hitting $18,000. Desperate, she sold cheap to a firm tied to Vivian's ex. "At least 3 others," Beatrice said. "The Thompsons, the Garcias driven out, properties flipped for profit." My blood ran cold. This was no power trip. It was a racket, Vivian weaponizing the HOA to bankrupt folks and snatch homes via shell companies. Digging deep, like in my fraud gigs, I pored over public HOA ledgers. $55,000 in phantom emergency levies sinking with forced sales. Those LLCs? Linked to Vivian's divorce lawyer, Victor Langston, her ex's silent partner. Her past? Booted from Pine Ridge HOA after a lawsuit for embezzlement. Same playbook. I traced her fake cert to an online template, snagged emails plotting buys, even recorded her boasting on a call about easing out owners. Overhearing her on my porch one day. "That bayfront seals the deal, prime for rentals or resale. We'll own the whole shore." Heart pounding, I called an urgent HOA meet at the rec hall. 40 neighbors crammed in. I laid out timelines, bank trails, Beatrice's gut-wrenching tale. Gasps rippled until Vivian countered, projecting a bogus email from me, threatening ruin. "He's unhinged," she sobbed. "Stalking me. The vote to oust her?" 25 to 15, one shy of majority. Defeated, I nearly quit, drafting a for sale ad. But Henry's words echoed. Evil thrives when the good fold too soon. Shifting gears, I phoned pros. DA's office, IRS tip line, state AG. Evidence packets flew. Investigations launched. Vivian struck back me top. Client yanked contracts over threats. She sought a restraining order with doctored audio. Courtroom tension peaked. Her lawyer painted me a menace. Then investigator Elena Vargas burst in. Your Honor, Ethan's a witness in our probe $75000 in HOA theft, multi-state pattern. Vivian blanched as probes widened. Warrants, frozen assets, charges piling fraud, laundering, evasion. Justice hit like thunder. Vivian repaid $140,000. Courts seized her mansion, bought with dirty cash, auctioning it for victims. Irony. She landed in that RV lot, 2 spots from Beatrice, who reclaimed her home and became HOA head, enforcing transparency. We turned Vivian's old place into a community hub, plaque reading, for honest stewardship. Months on, sipping coffee on Henry's swing, I see the Bay's true peace. Standing up didn't just save my spot at Free to Town from a predator. But was it worth the hell? Could I have walked away sooner? What do you think? Should HOA presidents face jail for power abuses? Or is it just community management? Ever fought a bully like this and won? Or lost? Drop your wildest stories below. Smash that like if karma's real, and subscribe for more real-life showdowns that make you question everything.